I feel compelled to share some thoughts that sprung from all the crazy stuff going on in this world, like the radical Islam extremists, all the mass shootings we've had in this country. You know, none of this should really surprise us if we consider the long history we've had of crazy things like this in this world, including genocides with the slaughter of millions of people. Well, whether it's a sad, horrific tragedy like one of these, a terrible natural disaster, a fatal accident, a disease or sickness, or any other thing that can kill us, we should all realize that we all have to die, and we can die at any time. But what concerns me the most is that I think most people don't concern themselves enough with what happens after we die. I think many people believe that you can't know what happens after you die until you die. So they rationally believe things like, well, God doesn't exist, and we just go out of existence when we die. Or hell doesn't exist, and we all go to heaven. Or they're not bad enough to go to hell, and they'll probably be good enough to make it to heaven. Well, are any of these things true? Questioning whether any of these things are true or not leads me to want to speak about deception. Because let's face it, just because someone believes that hell doesn't exist doesn't make it go away. Either it exists or it doesn't. Or, for example, if I were to believe that gravity didn't exist and I walk off the edge of a building, I would fall down, regardless of what I believed. Well, no one can deny that deception exists in this world. Just look at the way the radical Muslims wage war against us, appearing as normal citizens so that they can get close to us, while they have a bomb strapped to them so that they can blow us up, waging war against us with deception. Or just consider, the counterfeit products that are in this world, or counterfeit money. And keep in mind that the best counterfeit is the one that is as close to the real thing as possible. The best lie is the one that is as close to the truth as possible without being the truth. Well, spiritual deception is even a worse thing, because you see, the adversary of God, the devil, is the ultimate deceiver. And doesn't it make sense that the devil, or Satan, would want people to think that they can't know about the afterlife now, so that they don't bother looking for answers, and then when they die, he can take them to hell in their ignorance? Or doesn't it make sense that Satan would want people to think that they're not bad enough to go to hell, and they're probably good enough to make it to heaven, and they'll be okay? And again, take them to hell in their ignorance after they die. Well, how does one know that they're deceived or not? Well, I believe the best way to expose a lie is by knowing the truth. And I believe that God gave us the truth in the Bible. And I strongly believe that if a person was to do a proper, open-minded, thorough investigation of the Bible, they would come to the conclusion that it is indeed God's Word, the book that He gave us to know the truth about Him and about what happens after death, and about many other things that are important in this life. Listen, it's a very common deception for people to think that you just have to be good enough to make it to heaven. That if your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, that you'll be okay. But that's not true. The Bible teaches that none of us can be good enough to make it to heaven on our own. It says that we've all sinned and we all fall short of the glory of God. We've all broken God's commandments and are guilty before Him, worthy of judgment. But see, here's the good news. God is a gracious and loving God, and He provided a way so that we wouldn't have to be punished for our own sins. The Almighty Creator of the universe, in His grace and love, became a man, Jesus Christ, and He suffered the most painful and humiliating death on a cross, taking on our sins so that we wouldn't have to. But here's where deception gets really good, because someone might say, well, I believe that Jesus died for my sins. I'm saved, so I'm okay. But it's not just believing in the sense of knowing about this. It's more believing in the sense of having your life transformed by the inside out and creating a real change in your life. Listen, if you don't have a personal, intimate relationship with Jesus Christ and haven't committed to following Him and obeying Him and have a desire to know the Bible so that you can know Him better, consider the depths of deception. The Bible teaches that the devil appears as an angel of light and the demons as servants of right. Now listen, when it comes to the possibility of suffering forever in hell, isn't it better to be safe than sorry?